Welcome into Wager Talk TV. I am Drew Martin, joined by Kevin Dolan and Brian Leonard of WagerTalk.com. We're talking a good one. Saturday night, West Virginia at Oklahoma. Norman, Oklahoma here, Brian, on ABC, 7:30 Eastern. We're seeing Oklahoma right now, minus 16 as we're looking at the Wager Talk odds screen, 56.5 being the total. Mountaineers and Sooners, you interested in getting involved Saturday night, Brian?
I like to talk about my losers as well as my winners, and I had Oklahoma last week against Nebraska. They were lucky to win that game straight up. They just did not play well in that game. Yards per play, 5.9 for Oklahoma, 6.1 for Nebraska. They were plus one turnover. In fact, on the season, Oklahoma's plus 5 in the turnovers, and yet they're 1-2 against the spread. There's something wrong with Oklahoma right now. They're not playing well. We just talked about a Clemson team in the same situation. This Oklahoma team, they're 3-0, but they have not played well. And they're playing against a West Virginia team coming off that huge win against Virginia Tech. So the spot would say to play Oklahoma here because they struggled. They haven't played well. Going even back to the original game against Tulane, they were supposed to be on the road. They switched it to Oklahoma. And Tulane gave them a hell of a game, 40-35 Oklahoma. So the Sooners have not put it together other than the 76-0 against Western Carolina. We're not counting that. But they just have not looked good against the FBS teams, and they should be able to take advantage of a letdown here for West Virginia. But West Virginia is minus 6 in turnovers so far, and they're 2-1 against the spread. So they're playing a lot better than what their circumstances have been. Against that Virginia Tech game last week, the offense did very well, 6.2 yards per play against the Virginia Tech defense. They looked really good that first week, but then again, we have seen what their opponent has done since. So maybe we're making too big of an adjustment for that. But they did play Maryland. They lose to Maryland 30-24. Maryland's a very good team. So in that game they were out-yarded by 168. So I'm torn on this game. If I could catch a full 17 here, I think I'd make a spike play here on West Virginia. I'm not sure we're going to get it. I don't see how too many people are looking to bet on this Oklahoma team because they're just underperformed. So it's a game I think we'll learn from in the future. But as of right now, I'm afraid I'm going to have to pass on this one.
Okay. And Kevin, coming to you, Neil Brown in West Virginia, I think they're kind of a sleeper underdog here. Do you think they're barking in Norman on Saturday night?
Yeah, I don't see why not, Drew. As Brian said, it's definitely been a bit of a subdued start to the 2021 campaign for Oklahoma. Struggled against both Tulane and Nebraska. As he said, two teams you'd normally expect them to beat quite comfortably. But, at least Spencer Rattler does look a bit more composed now at the quarterback position after that opening game against Tulane, where he really did struggle. But, I have this game lined at around 15. So for me, there is a little value on the West Virginia side, but a play I like a lot more in this game is the first half line at West Virginia plus 9.5 here. The Mountaineers' first half to second half points discrepancy in scoring this season is absolutely vast. West Virginia ranked 15th in the nation on first half scoring, hanging 22.5 points on average in the first 30 minutes of games, while in the second half of games, they rank 125th against FBS level opponents, which is a massive drop. Averaging just those 3 points per game. Now, obviously, that's a tiny sample size, but it's nevertheless a train I want to stand in front of either. So, Mountaineers plus the 9.5 for me on the first half line here on Saturday. I'd feel a lot more comfortable taking the first half rather than full game, the way they've been playing in second halves. And I don't really want to trust them on the full match line, although if forced, that would still be the way I go. So, Mountaineers plus the 9.5 for me on the first half line against Oklahoma.
All right, little first half action from Kevin Dolan. Check him out at WagerTalk.com along with Brian Leonard. And guys, also remember to check out WagerTalk.com on Tuesdays, $2 Tuesdays, top handicappers, top play, discounted to just $2. Check it out, WagerTalk.com.